Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode 22 of Goodbye Bullshit, Hello Happiness. And today I decided to combine this episode with my usual New Year message that I do this time of year. And usually for my New Year messages, I take some time and see what comes to share. And this year it was interesting because first three words came, which were hope, love, and prosperity. And especially on prosperity. And when I went to dictionary to check the definition for those words, then I understood why um, they should be part of my New Year message this year. So, and that is to change our definitions for the words we use, how we use them, and what we use them for. One of the things I always tell my clients is to, I pull on my ears so that they sort of get on the habit of listening to the words that they use, sort of listening to the words that are running in their thoughts, because those words have energy and they have power. And the words we use to describe situation, describe ourselves, um, carry that energy and power with them. So become accustomed. Part of that going inward and part of that awareness is also listening to the words that we use. Now, let's take the definition of these words. Let's take first hope, since that's the first one that came. And the biggest thing there in the dictionary for definition of hope was expectation. And that's the part we need to change for that word, because hope is more aligned with trust and allowing and flow. And when you connect it to expectation and desire, it changes the energy of it. So it's wonderful to hope, it's wonderful to be hopeful, and in that hope and hopefulness, change your definitions so that you're not hoping for a particular expectation or an outcome of a desire, but rather it's a trust and allowing and flowing for that which you want to come into your life, or that you want to align with. So that was the first word. The next one was love. And love, again, is interesting too, because the way we use love is as a emotion and a feeling rather than state of being. And with love, we also tend to narrow it down for certain things and certain people. And to change that definition, change definition of love, not as an emotion. I mean, it can also be an emotion, but more aligned with it in terms of a state of being. State of being in love with yourself, with what's happening in your life, with what's around you, with nature, everything. So align more with that word in terms of state of being. And in that, you can allow that loving energy to flow to anyone and everything. It doesn't need to be only for certain people in your life. It can flow outward to anyone in your life. And just going deeper into that word and feeling of love and state of being for love is that, Rumi talks about breaking all the barriers you've built against love. And that's part of it, is that in our past life, in the past decades, however you want to call it, just as from generation to generation, um, out of the need for safety, out of the need for to gain desire and power, which is also part of that fear-based energy. We have learned to build barriers which cause separation. Separation in races, separation in classes, separation in gender, in any in many shapes and form we've created this separation. And to align with that feeling of love, for that state of being in love, we're sort of breaking those separations and allowing the flow of that energy to go and move to whichever direction it feels best for us. And then the next one was prosperity. And prosperity in the definition, um, it was all related to success in terms of money, wealth, and status. Now, for prosperity, if we can change that definition to being prosperous in life, to mean in terms of happiness, in terms of love, in terms of joy, in terms of peace, in terms of allowing, in terms of flowing, it changes that so you're not focused on a monetary success, wealth, power part of that word, but rather, again, in terms of allowing, flowing, happiness, joy, peace. Because once you have those, you allow those in your life and you're flowing with it, then the rest of it comes more easily and naturally. So, again, for this new year, 2022, not just for these words that I shared, hope, love, and prosperity, but anything else, any words that you use to describe yourself, describe your environment, your surrounding, your life, try to see what kind of energy you're using and you're connecting when you use the words. And is it really aligned with what you desire, with what you want your life to look like? And if it's not, you can still use the same word, but just change that definition for yourself. Um, Again, earlier I mentioned hope instead of expectation, change it to trust and allowing. Love, in terms of just an emotion, have it be a state of being and that can flow to everything and everyone. In prosperity, for money and success, use the same word, but have the definition mean to you that it's a allowing flowing of happiness, joy, and peace in your life. And that's how you prosper. Um, and for 2022, just not for these definitions again, one of the things that um, allows for, I think, more of that hope, love, and prosperity to flow in your life is to every situation that comes to you, look at it as a gift that's been given to you in love, in order for you to see yourself clearly, in order for you to practice some of the things that you want to achieve. Um, Life is, I know with my clients, a lot of times they say, well, I feel like I'm going backward. This thing keeps happening. It's not that it keeps happening. It's like you want to learn how to ride a bike, you gotta practice. Anything you want to do to get it into sort of your muscle memory, you need that practice. And so just look at it as life is giving you practice opportunities for you to test out these new things that you're learning so it becomes part of the muscle memory and you get to lose those behaviors and habits that you've gotten into that you use without even thinking. So any event that as soon as you come to curse it, say, why is this happening? Or get mad or upset, just do a pause and say, this is a gift to me. This is being given to me as a gift. Let me see what's in it for me. Because in that you can see either something that you've been carrying that you need to change, or it's just again a practice opportunity, sort of a do-over that you've changed now and you presented with the same situation so that you can see now that you're a different person, you can handle it differently, do it differently. And it's okay. Again, don't judge things that, oh, I was given a practice opportunity and I failed. There is no failure. It's just that, again, it's practice, practice, practice. Again, if you're riding a bike, you're going to fall, you're going to stumble. It's hard at the beginning, but then once it becomes part of that muscle memory, you're never going to lose it. You're never going to forget it. So look at it as life is giving you practice opportunities, giving you opportunities for do overs, giving you opportunities as a gift to see things that you have been asking and wanting to change in your behaviors and patterns. So pause, look at it, and say, this is a gift to me, and then figure out what kind of gift is being given to you. And part of the 2022, um, again, look at moments in your day and not a day in a moment. Um, there are many things that happen each day that it could frustrate you, it could make you sad, it could make you happy. There are a lot of emotions that come and go, and allow for that flow to happen and not just take one instance or a couple of those instances as to say this is how your day was. But at each moment, let it be part of that day and define it not as, oh, I had a bad moment, therefore I had a bad day. And again, I think 2022 also is a great time to practice trust and practice choices. Choices in terms of seeing you always have choice. I know for a lot of people, including me, if I feel my choices are being taken away, um, my anger and frustration shows up, and that's a cue to me. Oh, I'm feeling like I don't have a choice right now. Let me go look at my choices, see what they are, and what feels good to me to choose in the moment. Because there's always choice. We may not like the choice that we're presented with. We may wish for a different choice, but there is always choice. And we're choosing either based on what feels good, what feels best to us, or we're choosing out of obligations, out of fear, out of need. And that's okay as well, as long as you see you have choice. And trust, I think, is a big one as well. Trust, it takes a lot of practice. Um, for I know I had a lot of trust practice, and I think that's part of the biggest challenges in this lifetime for us to trust that everything is working out. And in order to practice it, stop taking everything so seriously and it's so heavy. Um, it's going to be lighter if you take it again as just a moment in time, as just what's happening right now, and not let it drag too much into the future, and in general just not allowing the past to come into it. So just allowing whatever's happening to be and have fun with it and not be attached to it is going to go a long way also as part of the practice of trust, trusting that everything's working out. Just because this thing is happening right in front of me doesn't mean that something bad is happening, doesn't mean that I'm stuck here, doesn't mean, it really is just that moment in time, and trusting that everything's flowing and allowing for you to move into where whatever is aligning more for you. And again, part of that becomes choice as well. That I have choice here, and as long as I'm choosing, as long as I'm choosing what feels good to me, I'm allowing that flow. I'm trusting and moving in that direction that's aligned with me. Um, so yes, 2022. I wish for all to have a great year. Practice going inward if you're not already. That awareness is a big key in getting in touch with yourself. And it's not just the awareness of um, your thoughts and emotions and the actions and your processes, but also once you become aware, then accepting and acknowledging all that is happening, and whether it's your emotion, whether it's the way you're reacting, whatever it is, after you become aware of it, acknowledge it and accept it. And once you have done that, then the next step is becomes easier than to see your choices and choosing and trusting them to that I'm choosing what feels good, and I trust and allow for whatever it is mine to flow to me, which becomes part of that hope, trust and hope that what's mine and is always flowing to me, and what's not mine is leaving me and is releasing. And in that, there is the prosperity and the desire to prosper in terms of joy, in terms of peace, in terms of love, in terms of happiness, and aligning more with a state of being of love, which is loving yourself, loving your environment, what's coming into your life, and what's leaving as well. So I hope you guys have a beautiful 2022. Wishing you all the best, and I hope it starts out great for you and it continues with many, many blessings and joyful moments, and moments that you can become aware, accept, acknowledge, and choose yourself. Actually, that part of your choices, make yourself a choice. Um, because a lot of times we don't let ourselves be a choice, and that's really important as well. So one of the things I always tell people is that you do you, boo, which is you choosing you. And I always say, I choose me in this moment. I'm going to choose me, and that means what feels good to me. And again, back also one more point I wanted to make for love as well as a state of being. And I know I talked about separation before, but part of that separation um, that has happened is because we've carried everything from the past into now, and we're carrying it into the future. So I hope for 2022, there's that word again, hope, for 2022, that we stop moving and carrying what has happened in the past forward, because the past is past, and we're going to allow 2022 and every day, every moment to bring us something new, to bring us a gift, and it necessarily not connected to the past. And by not connecting it to the past, we don't carry all the pain and hurt and the walls that we built out of fear, out of protection, out of power. We're shedding those, releasing them, so that we can fully step into a state of love, loving ourselves, loving the people around us, loving the environment, loving nature, loving what's happening in our life. I wish you all the best. I am sending love to all you guys and sending a big hug. Thank you. I appreciate you guys for watching these shows, listening to it on podcast, subscribing, following me. I hope and wish that the information I provide is helpful to you, and I always appreciate the feedback I get, that how it's helped you, and a lot of I get texts and comments and messages a lot, so I appreciate all those guys that are giving me feedback on how all the information is helping. Love you guys. Happy 2022. Be well. Sending you many blessings and all the best. Bye, everyone. Thank you.